So my point is that most of India is just concerned with a physiological existence. But really what we have to move is up the ladder to an existence where people can expect and demand justice for themselves. When we talk about aspiration, aspiration has to be a personal driver of growth, but more importantly, aspiration also needs to respect the fact that everybody today is equal in their dreams, in their aspiration, and that is where justice really kicks in. I think this requires a two-pronged strategy. The first is a basic physiological strategy, which is you need a proper distribution and delivery system, food, health, basic amenities, because if you can't even get that, then you're not even going to live the life of a human being. Forget live the life of a 21st century individual, yeah. And the second is there needs to be a rigorous communication campaign to name and shame people that are indulging in injustice. And that is where India is failing. Because everybody today that commits an act of injustice ultimately believes they can navigate the system. And because there's no accountability, there is, ongoing injustice, and this will only grow. You see, the fact is, as young people today, what is important is for you to challenge the system. I want to ask you a question. How many of you here today have ever filed an RTI application? No, Shehzad, you are not part of this one. About 3 people. Okay. How many people here have filed a PIL? Never. None.
I have a plan actually. I have thought of one.
Right. That's encouraging.
Yes.
Mine is dismissed.
No, but the fact is, do you realize that as young people today, you're living in a very interesting time? These are very exciting times for you. If you were living 150 years ago, right, you would be sitting around some old man smoking a hookah and he would be telling you who to vote for. Today you go to a village and wherever young people are, that's where the political energy is. So the dynamics have shifted. Look at the Aam Aadmi Party's victory in Delhi, only driven by young people. Look at Mr. Modi's campaign. Look at all the successful movements that have arisen. Look at the Congress victory in 2009. You have young people being a huge force for change. The question is, are you going to be part of the group that watches the change, or are you going to be part of the group that initiates that change? That is the question that you have to ask yourself. You've given me some flowers. My advice to you is never give flowers. Flowers are dead things. Instead, whoever comes to your institute, ask them to plant a tree. Because that tree will always survive, and that is giving something back to the earth. All you've done here is surround me with dead things. So we've got to think out of the box. All of us here, I grew up in a colony called Maharani Bagh in Delhi. Maharani Bagh was considered a very posh colony, and one of the reasons it was a posh colony was because it was extremely green. Then one day they built a flyover over where I grew up, and they cut all the trees down, and the property prices crashed. So the truth is that simple solutions to complex problems. I mean, if all of you would go back today to your homes, and in the next 1 week, if all of you could just do one thing for me, just plant one fruit tree, that's it, just one fruit sapling, I would think that my coming here has meant a lot. I mean, if we could have 200-300 trees being planted the next 1 week, fruit trees, amrud, jamun, aam, imli, anything. The water level would rise. In 5 years you would get shade, you know. The point is that as young people, you've got to do 2-3 things. One, use the media. Any injustice you see, any issue you see, right? Challenge the media. Go to them and say, listen, this is what is happening. Will you let me be a citizen journalist? Will you let me exercise my voice in a democracy? Do I have any value as a citizen of this country? The second thing, use the judicial system. File PILs. In this country, people don't realize that if this government is here today, it's because of Vinod Rai, it's because of people like even Prashant Bhushan, it's even because of Dr. Swami, it's even because of Jethmalani, it's because of so many people who were unconnected with electoral politics, who just fought cases and cases and cases, kabhi CWG, kabhi 2G, kabhi Raja ke khilaf, kabhi inke khilaf. I'm not saying that all of those things are right. I'm trying to say that in this country, you can be powerful and you can have a voice without being a member of parliament, without being a politician, without being in the system. Today, the country gives you that power. You can look at the young girl, Shreya Singhal, who, you know the case, right?
66A.
Yeah, 66A. So the point I'm trying to make is, why can't one of you be the next Shreya Singhal? You can and you will, if you put your mind to it. Wherever you see a lacuna in the system, and see people like me, young people like me, are standing there with you. If you contact me on Facebook, I will contact you back. If you call me and say, listen, we want you to say these things for us in Parliament, I'm happy to do it. That's my job. Today, we are here in Noida, right? Who is your MP? Do you know who the MP of this place is? Huh? Now, the question is, how many of you have gone to Mahesh Sharma and said, Mr. Sharma or Dr. Sharma, these are the issues we want you to take up in Parliament? Not one. So why do you think the level of policy making has fallen? Because there is no citizenry involved. And let's be honest, the kind of debates we see in Parliament are below mediocre. Because if you had a pressure from below, see, where there is a change, a revolution, it's never from on top. It's always subaltern. It's always from below. So my question to you, and the last thing I want to say today is, please recognize the fact that you're living in a very exciting time. This time affords you the opportunity to shine brighter than young people have shone for centuries before you. But seize the day, seize the moment, realize your importance, agitate, collectivize, form groups of young people. If 100 people sitting here today get together and say, this has to be done, I guarantee you governments will have to bend before you. All you have to do is focus your energies on positivity. Don't react, act. Move forward. Fight for justice, but most importantly, dream a big dream. Those who dream small dreams remain small. Those who dream big dreams achieve substantially. I have large dreams for all of you, and I'm certain that all of you, if you apply your mind, are going to realize your own dreams. Thank you.